Take a hand. Yes, if no one can tell, I'm listening to music right now. Remember that day. I need to like 1 to 2 announcements really quickly. Monster Hunter, that is all. And, okay, Discord and Discord. Not Discord, Discord. Why am I talking like this now? I have no idea. Also got him very, very tired. It's been a long week. Actually, not really. This should be going. Okay. There we go. I got it going. I can see the live bit rate. Before anything, I'm gonna finish my taco. I literally woke up like less than 30 minutes ago. And I needed dinner. So I had a pound of ground beef in the fridge. I turned it into a taco. I turned it into taco meat. I think in my hand right now I have like a quarter-pound taco. But yeah, no, while I'm at it, I can talk about stuff I'm working on. The Final Fantasy video is going. I had to take a drink. The Final Fantasy video is getting there, script-wise. I've had to go through a few revisions because the thing about each Final Fantasy character in Final Fantasy 13 is each one is intrinsically linked. So I have to basically tell it in a narrative from start to finish, but telling it from start to finish requires me to go back and forth as little as possible. So basically what I'm doing is telling it in chronological order. Because I'm also focusing in on the character development based upon how each summon interacts with how each Eidolon interacts with their summoner. Because it's supposed to challenge their summoner into making them better. Like, on stream in the case, like, you saw Shiva with Snow. In that case, it was the idea that pretty much the entire topic was him not giving up in his determination to be a hero. Simple. Rather simple. But there's actual nuance to it on why he's so driven like that. Because here's the thing. We don't know a lot about Snow's past, but we understand that at the end of the day, he doesn't want to see people hurt. Because presumably he has seen the damage that Sanctum can cause. It's why he operates Nora, the quote unquote criminal syndicate he's part of. Funny thing is, today I actually know why I'm so tired.
Early leaf call.
I know why I'm so tired. It's just one of those things of like, I wish my body would stop being so tired. It's because of the fact that because I wasn't able to sleep for so long properly. Takes a while to actually recover from sleep deprivation. While I'm at it, might as well show off some new avatars I'm looking at. Why am I getting markers? Oh, it's Discord being Discord. How to make introvert friends. An extrovert found them, like them, and adopted them. Red, the slice of the pie. Dogs count as friends. They do. But no, I'm looking at a few cat avatars. I'm gonna turn on display capture. That's display. Why is that such a display one? So we have this one. I like this because it has multiple outfits. Has a ribbon, a bell, a bow, a witch hat, like a wizard or a witch hat. It comes with standard animation, blinking animation, and talking for both. And we got a pumpkin. We got pumpkin cat. We got various forms of happy, scared, bored, sad. I like the sad one. And I like the bored one. Also, cat dinosaur. It's cat dragon. Right. This is something I would most likely use during, like, Monster Hunter until I can actually get, like, an actual cat avatar for Monster Hunter. And then we have this. For starting soon, be right back type of stuff. I want it. I want this to be what my actual overlay is, my, like, minimalist overlay is actually based on, funny enough. We got stream offline, we got ending soon, we got loading, we got be right back, starting, and then we got the blank image I can work with. I just don't think it comes with the text font. Which, if it doesn't, because I think that's drawn in. I'll most likely ask what font they used or if it's drawn in, and if it is a font, what font and what height does it start from the bottom? From the bottom going up. I love this design. Like, look at it, man. It's amazing. Oh, it comes with the text font. Comes with one text. Okay. But yeah. I want to use this one for Monster Hunter. Eventually talk to a friend to see if I can get something like this, but in her own style. Have it based on Dodogama. Also, there's Witch Cat. I would most likely combine the happy and confused images because they share the same eye, but I like the mouth of the mouth for talking purposes. Okay. That explains why I feel like trash. By over whether I just say my state. I don't want to say my state on live stream. But yeah, these are the cat avatars I'm looking at. I will most likely go in the order of obtainment of the dragon, the pumpkin, the black cat, and White Cat. I want to find someone who can actually like draw me a bunch of avatars with different talking animations, different with talking, blinking, animation, stuff like that, because I do not consider myself a VTuber. For one, I don't. I barely even consider myself a PNG tuber. I use this because A, it's easier, and B, half the time I look like garbage, so it's just like, why even show my face at this point? I'm gonna be honest, like, ever since we started the renovations, we actually realized why my house was probably making me sick again. Turns out, like, floorboards dry rotted out. There are parts of the actual floor that need to be entirely replaced because of it. And dry rot can bring mold. Not things like black mold, but it can still bring mold. So I should add to the tacos. I should have added mushrooms. Should have added mushrooms. Would have been really good. Well, yeah, we think we figured out why the house was making me sick. Also the reason why we kind of want to eventually sell the house. Find a place that's further out into, like, the sticks. That has more land. To where we can homestead a bit. Sorry, I kind of got called to see if I could help tomorrow. Shop again. And the answer is yes. I'm going to go to the shop tomorrow morning at like 10 in the morning. He needs help with lawn equipment. And my specialty is small engine, which, like, I'm talking like smaller engine, smaller than motorcycle, where we're talking about things like professional grade lawn equipment, to home grade lawn equipment, and wiring. Along with, like, that's the size of engine I work on. I also do the wiring for the stuff, so it's like I have a bike there that there's a Honda there. It's a Honda Shadow ACE. Not the raspberry blue, but the dark blue that they sold for a while back in 2001. And it was a rat's nest. I had to rip out a bunch of cables from it. That was the everything is blue bike. Oh. Okay, taco done. My taco is done. I will start hunting now. I legitimately just wanted food. It's the first thing I ate today. And to all those who came in early, got to see sneak peeks of what's coming to the stream. Back to greatsword time. Not greatsword, longsword. Let me load in. Members, DT 8 JN 9 HU. Okay, we're good. Okay. On some monsters, Dayton, I learned how to do the offset. On others, I couldn't figure it out. Eventually, I just like, you know what? I'm just gonna learn to get good in dodge roll. Eventually, that was the plan. Eventually, it was just learn how to Dark Souls my way through this stuff. Guard and dodge roll. Dark Souls it all the way. And it worked. Like, it actually worked. I was guard countering, I think, Gormagala at one point. It was pretty fun. But I have to say, would I ever go back to using greatsword as a weapon? Not really. It's just not my kind of weapon, man. I like weapons that are faster. Not so much combo weapons. I like weapons that have a simple attack linkage, where you can just do like a loop of the basic attack that do things like elemental damage, status effect, stuff like that, where it's not really complex to learn, but the complexity is actually in the build itself. That's partly why I liked Switch Axe in World, was because Switch Axe was a very simple weapon that basically you looped Wild Strike with your sword mode. The complexity of Switch Axe at that time was the mastery of knowing how and when to use elemental discharge, zero sum discharge, and a combination of particularly what type of build you do. Where in this game it's a little weird. I don't know how to phrase it, especially when I'm half asleep. There isn't really a weapon like that anymore. I try to say like Sword and Shield's like that, but Sword and Shield is not like that anymore. The closest there is Insect Glaive, which is really funny, but Insect Glaive also has its but Insect Glaive also has its meter with the 3 buffs. It's why in my free time I'm leaning more and more towards Insect Glaive now, because I'm leaning more and more towards Insect Glaive now because it's less convoluted than pretty much all the other weapons. Even Switch Axe is more convoluted than like Insect Glaive, which I find very interesting. Yeah, I just woke up, Dayton, and I don't wake up for like a good unless it's something really important, or or I gotta work. I don't properly wake up for like a good hour and a half. Why my mother knows how to make coffee in the coffee machine how I like it, because she understands the fastest way to wake me up is just give me coffee. Just put a cup of coffee in my hand and say, go read. That is the fastest way for me to wake up, is just go read something while drinking a cup of coffee. I think I got that from my grandmother. But yeah, Insect Glaive, and can't really think of another weapon that's very much just a beat 'em in the face stick anymore. I kind of want them to bring like Insect Tonfa, Magnet Spike, and Excel Axe back, and turn Magnet Spike into an elemental based beat stick that can go between a fast mode, that can go between elemental based, that can go between purely elemental damage that converts all physical damage to element, or converts all element damage to physical. Where in its 2 modes, where it's like in its magnet form, all damage is elemental. And in its non-magnet form, all damage is severing, or whatever it is. Slicing. I'll just say slicing in this case. Because that would be a very neat way to do it. Give it a very simple combo, a very neat, with a good loop, where it's like you could just loop the Y attack combo, or you could loop, or you can intertwine the other attacks into the combo attack, giving it the ability to just effectively be a combo stack. But having it to be where you have to learn, okay, when are you in raw damage? When are you in elemental damage? When are you in what? Longsword is, on its base, very simple. Very simple. Once you start getting into its spirit moves with Spirit Slash, Spirit Blade, Special Sheath with EA Slash, EA Spirit Slash, Helm Splitter, it turns from simple to, oh my, so many buttons. It turns into, I wish I had macro commands. Which I have macro buttons on my controller. But this game, you can't set up macros. They wouldn't work. You can't, the macros in this game really wouldn't work for attacks. So it's a very much it's a case of, well, time for a weapon to go from very simple to very complex. It's I think the best way to describe it is, sorry, I had a hiccup. I think the best way to describe it is one move in particular. EA Spirit Slash. EA Spirit Slash quite literally requires you to learn near frame perfect timing just to do it properly. You can do it entirely by accident, but if you want to spam it, just spam it to get instantly up to max spirit gauge. You have to know the idiosyncrasies of timing. You have to be able to at times count music, because sometimes enemies are connected to music attacks themselves. The movement of enemies are combined to the music themselves for some reason. I don't know why, but sometimes they are. You have to learn so much about the game that it turns from the joke of weeb stick into you have too much time stick. And for the people who can master this thing, respect. Respect is granted. Personally, myself, my words have always been light bowgun. As much as I hate it in Wilds, it's still a very good recommendation. And in this case, it used to be Switch Axe, but because Switch Axe now has a bunch of new moves, go with one of the simplest weapons to learn. Insect Glaive. All you have to do is hold down focus mode and attack. And you get your buffs. And it can even heal you. It is a very beginner-friendly weapon now. So those are the two weapons I would recommend now. Which is basically turn into man with gun and turn into a French person. Looks like a defensive structure. Yeah, this will definitely be used for a siege. Hey, Faithful. Faithful, what's wrong? Why are you message me on Discord, what's wrong? Message me on Discord, what's wrong, friend? Thank you. I'll be hopefully getting a new one. Heckin' cute. Heckin' cute kitty. I know, I love this one. I'll be getting a few more. I'll send them over to you in a bit to see what you think. But yes, please tell me what's wrong, friend. If I can help, I help. You know this. And be safe, as always. God bless. You know these things. Time to slaughter a spider. Remember, sometimes you just gotta take a break. Sometimes you just gotta take a sit and just let things, and just observe things from the outside. My recommendation is when you take a sit, have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee with you. And then pet a fluffy animal. I don't have antivirus. That's bad. I don't have antivirus. Good. Good. Appa's doing a good job. Appa gets gold star. Is a gold star member of the feline pile. I don't like these jaws because they get in my way. I don't plan on having too much fun. I have been summoned to do work tomorrow at the shop, so I can't stay up too late. Apparently, the guy who does who handles who owns a lawn company, all of his lawnmowers need work. So I got to do the blades, the carburetor, and I got to power clean them down. So I'll literally be walking in like my normal pants and shoes and a tank top because it's gonna be hot. Dayton, those are easy jobs. It's the hard part's gonna be the blades, because I know what mowers he has. Carburetors, easy. Cleaning, like, power washer, easy. The blades on American mowers are a pain in the butt, because they have specifically a 17 most of them have, at maximum, 17 to 20 millimeter nuts on them to hold them in. But the thing is, half the time, the deck for the lawnmower is either retained in a way that you can't just pull the blades out. So you either have to pull the entire deck, or, and this is the annoying one, or you have to lift the entire lawnmower up. And I know for at least one of them, I have to lift the entire lawnmower up. So it's gonna get very fun in that case for the fact that I know for the one I have to lift up, it's been dropped on my wrist before. That is how I accidentally sprained my wrist at work. I could have accidentally lost my hand that day, but I didn't. Thank God. Thank Lord Almighty I didn't. Because, yeah, that was the full force of a mower just dropping down on my wrist. And when I go to lift the thing, I'm lifting it. I'm helping my brother-in-law. That was when I was getting paid. This time it's just me helping my brother-in-law. We figured out why it fell. The tire wasn't fully seated on the lift. That was the issue. The issue was that it wasn't fully seated on the lift because we couldn't get it to seat. He thought it was, lifted it, and it fell. I'm gonna be the one lifting it. I'm gonna be the one making sure it's on the lift. And I'll be the one making sure it won't fall. Because, ow. I'm not having that happen again. For very obvious reasons. But yeah, we know what happened, why that occurred. We're just happy I walked away with minimal injury. Personally, myself, I can say out of like everything, I can still say it was probably one of the funnest jobs I ever had in my life. I got to do things you would never expect. Because in America, when you have a dealership license, well, when you have a mechanic's license, not a dealership license, when you have a mechanic's license, you can get away with some very interesting things. And I'm not saying like illegal things. I'm saying particularly you can do some very fun things working on vehicles. Not like illegal, like borderline illegal, but you can do some extremely fun modifications to vehicles that you wouldn't normally be able to do as a civilian because you legally wouldn't have the machinery to do it. Or you wouldn't have the machinery because of the cost. Or in some cases, say you need to get like a go-kart, but a go-kart that has been made street legal because it's 150 cc's, which is cubic centimeters. Made it street legal by giving it turn signals, by giving it lights, a rear view mirror, side view mirrors, a whole 9 yards, and then you can drive it about like you can drive it in the street to your other storage warehouse. Yes, I did that. I totally did that. It was really fun. My brother-in-law also has a motorcycle that, by all terms, shouldn't be driven on the road because of how it's made. But the thing is basically a track bike, and oh my, it's so loud it legitimately causes your ears to hurt. It is registered under one of his customers because his title-wise, because his customer wanted to see a bet with one of his a brother. Hello. With one of his brothers. The guy's Italian. Hello. So legitimately, it was a guy named. It was two Italians seen who can make a faster bike. 1 second, phone call. Hello. I was very tired. I was just very tired.
No, I just because I finally have the med that lets me sleep. My body's like, oh, you can sleep now? I have to catch up on time to get the sleep you missed. Yeah. I have to go into the shop tomorrow. I will be.
My mother just called asking if I was okay, because when someone came to let the dogs out, they found me passed out in my chair. Like, no, I was just very tired. Excessively tired. I need to get the Hunter rank 6 because that gives me access to one item I want. Hold up. That's right, Dow. Guess what we're doing tomorrow? We're getting the Gamma set for Raid Dow. Well, technically, I might be doing that later tonight because I don't want to miss it. No. Basically, in the beginning of the video for, like, Monster Hunter 1 title update, I make a remark about me being tired. Me being, like, tired about me not being able to do a script, so it's off the cuff. I put a small text blurb about why I couldn't read the script. Answer is because for about a month and a half, I didn't have an actual muscle relaxer that could calm my nerves. And I make it absolutely, like, I have no issue saying, I have nerve damage. Why I have nerve damage is very simple. I had an anaphylactic reaction that caused issues in the past. Caused permanent issues in the past. And I had an appendix that one second. Hello. Okay. I've taken care of her when had her feet before. Yeah. Want to stay.
Okay. 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 Love you too. Bye. Yes, I have a good relationship with my mother. I maintain a good relationship with my mother. But okay, back to the topic. Basically, the reason I'm tired, Dayton, is due to the fact that I got nerve damage from going anaphylactic when I was younger, and I had an appendix that nearly killed me. Like, when I say nearly killed me, I mean straight up maybe a few hours away from offing me. What happened is basically your appendix, when it can go, it can either just burst because it is so agitated that it just explodes in your body. It rips itself open, causing you immense pain to where most people don't actually stay awake. What happens is there's usually extreme pain in one area. Someone's told exactly where it hurts, and they see what happens, and then doctors know, oh, this is what happened. But in my case, it was my appendix lodged itself under, and this is where, apologies if this sounds gross. It lodged itself under the lower intestine. No, it was either the stomach or the lower intestine, and then it just died. So when that happens, it starts to leak fluid that's under necrosis. And when that spreads throughout your body, you bloat, you're in pain, and your nerves start to get fried. You can also, depending on if it reaches your spine, it can damage your spinal cord, specifically the nerve connections between your spine, between your discs and your spine, potentially causing you to go paralyzed. I didn't go paralyzed, thankfully. But what did happen is I now have nerve damage literally running along my spine. So basically what that did is cause it to where everything that can cause issues, I no longer just feel in one area, I feel throughout my entire body. So to take care of this issue, I take a muscle relaxer. It helps my nerves stay calm. I'll be taking one in like probably an hour or two, so I can wake up on time to go to work tomorrow. But because I didn't have a proper muscle relaxer for about a month and a half that worked, because I became resistant to it, I had to wait until my appointment like 4 days ago to get the one I'm on now. I'm now taking the new one, and because my nerves are no longer, well, going 120 miles an hour, always, meaning I can sleep again. Which also was funny because apparently I did something to my back without knowing, and I caused strain to my back muscles, and the nerves were just hiding that from me. Which is really funny when you think about it. So there's kind of like an upside and a downside to nerve issues, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's not fun. 0 catnip out of 10. That's the long story short. Pretty much my life in general is me trying to stay awake and not fall asleep at the worst opportune moments. Because my body goes like, hey, you should sleep. It's like, I can't sleep. I got things to do. You should sleep. Dang it. it's a bit comical, but also that moment of, I really wish I wish I had the ability to control my sleep schedule. Yeah, if I'm tired, but if I'm tired from streaming, I will literally say it on the Discord. I'm taking a health day. I'm going to sleep. See you tomorrow. I will do that. I will say that on stream, not on stream, on Discord, and if I remember, on YouTube community tabs. To anyone here, please, if you're over the age of 18, join the Discord, please. You will get, if not daily updates, daily to potentially more than once daily updates on the current state of the stream. Because sometimes I have to update it and say I'm starting late. Discord is down below if you're over the age of 18. And on Twitch, Discord is in the About tab. It's in the bio. Same rules apply to, like, same rules that are here apply to this Discord. That's really it. Like, that's not many rules. It's literally like 4. 3 or 4. Hello, Wrath. Loud noises! It's a hunting horn main named Loudness. Cut its tail! Sever its tail! Make it bleed! Blood for the blood god! Skulls for the skull throat! What am I doing? Hey, chemistries! I'm Doug Dimmadome, the owner of the Dimsdale. Oh, I can't say it. I can't say it without laughing half the time. Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Got it. Yes, I prefer Great Hunts for raising my HR, and now that I'm at, here, Grand Hub, it'll be easier. That's what he does. That's up. And the funny thing is, like, I know I can take breaks from streaming, but half the fun of streaming for me is just it's to be relaxing. Because it's just be playing games and talking to people. That's the fun part. The stressful part of content creation is the videos, because I follow the motto of, even if it's dumb, do it. but it's also that moment I have to realize that sometimes some of the things I want to talk about, maybe not everyone's gonna enjoy. So I just have to be able to remember that. And that sometimes hits stress-wise. Like the next video, I automatically know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, because Final Fantasy 13 is kind of as I put in the video, Final Fantasy 13 is objectively a Final Fantasy game. It's objectively a Final Fantasy game. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. And I have to say that because Final Fantasy 13 is a game that a lot of people have issue with. They either love it or they hate it. I'm someone who sees it for what it is, and that is an imperfect, not masterpiece, but an imperfect piece that could have been so good. Because that's exactly what it is. It could have been so good if Tetsuya Nomura was not the writer. And that's just a flaw with Tetsuya Nomura. Tetsuya Nomura also wrote Kingdom Hearts, for reference. He's not a good writer. He isn't. He's not a good writer. He's a very bad one. But he knows how to appeal to a Japanese market. Hence why he makes his money. His actual writing is terrible, but he knows how to appeal to the Japanese market. That's really about it. But other than that, it's really just... It's the fact that it's the fact that I know that as much as I like making this video, not everyone's... I already know I'm going to get comments about it from the perspective of, why even make this? It's just Final Fantasy 13's a bad game. It doesn't need people talking about it. It's like... I know some Final Fantasy 13's a bad game. Me, I love it. It's a flawed. It's something that's flawed yet could have been so good. The execution was the issue. And I know that, and I know particularly that a lot of people come from Monster Hunter, but I'm not just someone who's going to talk about only Monster Hunter. It's as much as I like this game, I'll talk about other things. Because here's the thing about Monster Hunter: a lot of the topics of this game that don't come from Wilds have already been talked about and have been talked about to death in fact. Like one of these days, I want to make a video about Octopath Travelers. Now, Octopath Travelers does pretty much everything right. Like, the game objectively is a masterpiece. I'm not even kidding. The game is a masterpiece. I think the only few things it does wrong is how it handles level. Well, level scaling. And the lack of variety of items. That's really the only two, like, main gripes I have with the game, to be honest. Run out of questions, sit back and relax. I'm perfectly fine with people just lurking. That's genuinely what I expect from most people, because most people have things they gotta do in life. Most people got things they gotta do. It's not often until, like, you got 20, 40 plus people, and I'm talking actual people, not view bots, that you have a lot of people in chat who are always talking Dayton. It's not a common thing. And I don't expect that to happen for a long time. I don't expect a lot of people to be in chat. I don't expect to get those numbers for a long time. As much as I say this is as much as I say I'm on the road to monetization, that road is very long. And I wish I could get there, because it would mean that through the work that I do for the channel, I could also bring in a little bit of income for my family, because I want to support my family as much as I can. I just enjoy giving content to people. Which is kind of funny when you think about it, because I'm not someone who wants, like, a parasocial type of relationship with people, because I know the downsides that it can bring. That's one of the main reasons why, as much as I am happy, like, Noel watches, I've muted his accounts to appear in chat, because I don't want a parasocial relationship to occur. And that can happen a lot easier. That can happen a lot easier in people who are younger. And if you're watching this, please, I'm happy you're watching, but go outside. Go outside. Go play with friends. Be a kid. Well, we got a tail cut. Okay, yeah, a tail cut with 2 Longsword players? Yeah, that's gonna happen. That was a good hunt. I should probably load that webpage back up so I can see things. when you're asking someone how their day is, that's just being kind. That's just being kind. When I talk about like parasocial stuff, I'm talking about actively getting involved in like super personal stuff. Things like considering a person. I think the best way to put it is considering the way that Japanese idol fans view Japanese idols as their best friends, even though they don't actually know the person. They know about the person. Maybe they've spoken one or two words to the person at a meet and greet, but they don't know the person's day-to-day life. They don't know the they don't know everything about the person, what they do in their free time, what they do in their personal time, what they basically what their family life is like, stuff like that. The ins and outs, the extreme ins and outs of their very life itself type of thing. That's when you start getting into that moment of, okay, you gotta cut the person out. And if I can cut that at the knees with someone that can ease that type of thing can easily where that type of behavior can easily form, I'm going to. It's personally why, as much as to like pull a thing from Captain Joseph, another person I talked to. The reason why, even though he's a family-friendly streamer, yet he largely wants an 18+ audience, is due to the fact that that doesn't tend to happen with mature adults. Unless you're like really like, unless you're heavy in the sauce type of thing. Did I just really make a drug reference? I just made a drug reference. Why did I? Okay. Yes, I know, I just made a really weird drug reference. Without even thinking about it. Yeah, it's also partly why I don't consider myself like into the VTuber aspect or even the PNG tuber aspect. I'm just a person who uses a cute avatar to know when so people know when I'm talking. Or know when I'm here type of thing. And that's purely because it works. And the thing about like parasocial relationships, they are so heavy in the VTubing industry, the PNG industry, streaming side of it as well, that it's terrifying. It's why like when I talk to Faithful, I just treat her like a person. Because like, I treat her like a person. If I talk to Iron Mouse, guess what? I would treat her like a person that's not a VTuber. Same thing with Gura. As much as I don't like the fact that Gura walked away from making really funny memes, still treat her like a person who's not a VTuber, because that's a job to them. It's a distinction, a difference. There's an overwhelming shift in that people aren't separating the work from the person who does it. Sometimes you can't, but for most of the time you can. One person got that from the Sony video, from the Sony clip, when you asked about why I don't like Sony. And it's the reason, and he understood that when, yeah, you can separate Sony game consoles and the Sony subsidiary that does games from Sony Interactive Entertainment. But at the end of the day, you still need to recognize that Sony as a corporation isn't good. Sure, they've done things you enjoy, but they have done things entirely different that, as an individual, you are going to disdain. It's the same with VTubers, where to them, professional VTubers, where them VTubing and putting up a personality is entirely different from, well, this person doesn't quite function in the same manner as, say, doesn't function in the same manner as they put in front of you. And most people only... Yes, I do. But that's one of those things. Parasocial relationships largely happen when you can't separate the work from the person who does it. I think an example I can give is you can have someone who's really good at making burgers. And they're really nice when they make them, they sell them, and they make really good ones. Organic, fresh ingredients, everything. But in their actual day-to-day life, they beat, kill puppies, and smoke crack and heroin. That type of thing. Are you gonna are you only going to view what they do at work, or are you only going to view what they do as a person? You have to treat the work separate from the individual. Also, we're bullying a frog. We must bully this frog until it jumps off a roof backwards. And the reason why I used Sony there as the example is because I can personally say some of Sony consoles I enjoy. I enjoy the PSP. I enjoy the PS Vita. Heck, I enjoy the PlayStation 3. PlayStation 4? PlayStation 5? But at the end of the day, their consoles used to be good. A little overpriced, but used to be good. And they used to have good games. They didn't have as many games like Okami or Shadow of the Colossus, where it was just pure experimenting. But they had good games. But you can't just take the work of the game subsidiary and separate it from the work of the music subsidiary and the main corporation, Sony itself, in which they have actively destroyed people just so they could get more money. Like, I believe Sony's actually part of... I don't know how much about VTubing you know, Dayton, but there was a company called Nijisanji. They were original. They had a head company. They had the head company called Anycolor. Anycolor was, I believe, backed by Sony. Anycolor, the company, What they did is they protected someone who, let's just say, did sexual deviancy to female coworkers. They knew about this. Their higher-ups on their board knew about this. Their board consisted of members of the people who backed the company, which would have included Sony. It's not... Which means, again, what did Sony do? They covered up someone's heinous actions for the sake of money. That's what I mean by it's like, they've done some heinous stuff. It's not even just Sony, it's a lot of Japanese companies. Nintendo does it. Nintendo does it, but they do it in a very way that's like straight up illegal in the United States. Because, if you don't know, emulation, perfectly legal in the United States. Apparently to Japan, they don't care. Capcom has made it to where modders quite literally have been sued. You have Capcom, Nintendo, Sony, Sega. Sega actually hasn't done pretty much anything wrong, like in the past like 20 years. To be honest, they really haven't. Sega's been pretty chill. Not gonna lie, they've been actually really chill. Like, they don't care if you emulate Dreamcast. Like, they didn't care about you copying Dreamcast at, like, when it was out. They were pretty chill about it. Capcom has actively sued modders before because under Capcom's banner, they hold a specific policy that if you make, modify, or redistribute any of their files for any Capcom published or Capcom assisted in development game, you are legally going against Japanese law. Which, if you're in Japan, you are. They don't have fair use. If you're outside of Japan, fun fact, Capcom, you can't sue anyone. They've tried. Japan has very strange laws. And Japan is known for trying to take those laws and apply them to other countries. It's part of the reason why in like the with Pal World, the Pocket Pair, the company that made Pal World, wasn't sued over wasn't sued over plagiarism or use of models. Nintendo Pokemon models. They were sued over IP infringement, actually. They were sued over IP and copyright infringement. Specifically going to game mechanics. That's why they had to change. That's why they had to rush out updates to basically undercut Nintendo's lawsuits. Well, Nintendo's lawsuit against them. And they did. They undercut the lawsuit, but they're still fighting it to basically say, "Hey, Nintendo, your copyrights and your IP registrations cannot apply to us because we made this before you registered them, which in Japan does actually apply. No one's just covering the lawsuit, sadly. But that's a good example of like Japan having really weird laws. I think the only company that has kept themselves clean in like the past 20 years, Dayton, is legitimately Sega. And that's purely because Sega just... I'm not joking. Sega mainly makes pachinko machines. I'm not even joking. Sega's main business model now is mainly pachinko machines. So when it comes to their video games, they don't really care. Like, that's the best part about, like, Sega. They just don't give a flying care. It is absolutely funny. Oh, so your country is one of the few that were ex-colonies. I presume during either the time before World War I or after World War I. You don't have to, don't specify the country, but if you want to specify either before or after World War I, that's fine. If you want to. Because that answers my question. History buff. Okay, yeah, that answers my question. That answers my question. Right before the booming. Yeah, I love how you put that, and I know it's a misspelling, but I love it. Right before the booming. I want to fight a Narcella really quickly. I want to get the Narcella. I want to get the Narcella sword. I love how after World War II, Japan went, okay, we can't take over the world through force. We'll take over the world through manufacturing. That is legitimately what they did, and I find it absolutely funny. Because if you don't realize it, most steel, like really good steel for like cars and the automotive industry, it comes out of Japan. It doesn't come out of America anymore. It comes out of Japan. Kawasaki Steel Industries produces some of the best automotive frames you can find. And I say that as an American who wants American engineering to actually, like, come back. Because I want Harley Davidson to actually make American-made bikes again. I don't want their Chinesium crud. I want them to make American-made bikes again, not have to use Kawasaki Steel Industries frames. Yeah, that's Japan. That's very much Japan. They showed themselves like, hey, we are your friends. Joke's on you, we're taking your country. Why did that go German? Well, actually, I know why it went German. Too soon. But now Japan just kind of lost itself to basically like, oh yeah, we don't have the ability to we can't have kids. We don't have enough reproduction going on to where we're gonna be able to sustain our own population. It's like, oh great, yeah, you did this to yourself, Japan. You did this to yourself. It's what happens when you're mean to people. It's also what happens when you prolong a type of societal culture that results in people literally wanting to end themselves over being considered a literal slave. I just want to hit a wound. Cool. We go on Burb back. Oh, he's running a paralysis horn. That's how you avoid that. Okay. Hunting Horn is going to be so fun when I get to it. And it's only going to be like that because Hunting Horn, if you don't know, in this game is just better hammer. Be safe. Be safe and God bless. Here's 2 Narcellos. Didn't mean to activate the other one. Oh, it's trying to kill us. Need to grab the bones. Okay. The tiny little spiders are going, I'll get you, killing my mother. And they fell at it. Okay, let's do Forge. There's my Narcella weapon. $27. One second. Had to clean out my ear because I can now hear again. That's the benefit of that, having that on my desk, is I can actually hear again. Armor. Yeah, I'm going with this. Going with the event armor. What do I want? Wait a minute. Mushroom. Mushroom. Can I have my mushrooms back? I have my mushrooms back. I am appeased. I am happy. I have my mushrooms back. I love Mushroom Answer in this game too much. Mushroom Answer is one of my favorite abilities ever.
ラバラバリナの痕跡があったという場所に向かいましょう。次の手がかりがあるかもしれません。あったぞ。あれか。
I look like I come out of Yojimbo for some reason. Which, if you don't know what Yojimbo is, it's Japan's version of a fistful of dollars. Good Western movie, recommend it.
対象に近づいているかもしれません。私たちも注意して進みましょう。分かった。
みんなちょっと待って。
Tempered monsters. Let's go.
こんなことになるのはな。だがやはり君を呼んでおいて正解だった。我々はラバラバニアに対処する。君たちはご自由に。臨機応変に行こう。
I'm my burb. Ow.
流入結晶が反応する恐れがある。
There we go. How about you don't touch me? Can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. You're not Plesioth. You can't hit me. You can't hip check me into another dimension. But you can't hip check me into the ground. Dang it. Right back into red. Dang it. Follow it immediately. I do not want to lose those two spots. That's immediate red right there. As long as I fall, as long as I can get them. Got it. Splitter. Okay, we got some fighting two at once. Actually, no, I'm just gonna let them fight each other. Take Parashroom, take that. Oh, all three of them are there. Okay. Really? Fine, I'll just sharpen. Okay. Two, three, four. Beat. EA slash. Ow. Up I go. I said up I go. Stop moving. Got you. Come on. Thank you. That was a reposition that saved my butt. Why is she here? Let me poke your leg. Got you. There we go. Refresh my bar. If it would stop moving. There we go. Really? Get over here. Up I go. Just take care of the level up and together. And I absolutely miss. Okay. Wait, you're running. As I just got massacred. Get over here. Oh, it went down. Okay. Down, down, down to the crystals. Why did that... I don't know why that popped into my head.
私も素材を集めました。一時保管ポーチのご確認を。
Are you joking? Quit your running. A fistful of dollars is here to fight you. Want the piercing pod. I couldn't get the counter off in time. I was out of the attack window. Kebs, I need you to heal me. We must slay this dinosaur. Sharpen. It's not perfect, but it works. Got it. Ow. Let me stab. Let me poke her toe. There we go. Got it. Okay.
本来の生息域を取り出してもなお生き抜く力を持つ個体か。厄介だな。
Do, 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 do. Blossom dance ticket.
新しいガーディアンにさながらでも
今の竜と
そういうそれそう
いいよ。
あなたの
それなこの特それなら
またそうだ
We have unlocked temper monsters. I immediately went to 23. With that said, I'm going to raid out to someone on Twitch. I gotta make sure I'm up in time tomorrow. Well, it's gonna be icy. Why has it always been icy as of late? It's always been icy. So with that said, on Twitch's end, thank you for coming. I gotta be up early tomorrow. So I gotta take my meds, let my meds kick in, and wake up early, stuff like that. So thank you. Thank you all for coming on Twitch. Like, I was gonna say like, comment, subscribe. That's YouTube. YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow. And God bless to all of you. I'm finally feeling better. All that said, later.